Good news, folks. Returned back from a short 4-day holiday. Went to the mountains in Austria. Returned to find the inner panelling has been delivered for the inside of the sauna, which is great news. Just before we went on holiday, I also went shopping at B&Q. Bought the rest of the wood for the top battening and making the benches, which is great. Also some extra insulation for the ceiling, because I'm yet to insulate the ceiling. So the next steps for today, I'm going to finish the foiling running around the last bit of the wall and then begin the panelling on the inside, because once that's done, then I can build out the benches. So we are getting very close to finishing this. As you can see, the window's still not done. The last two key things I need to order is the stove and glass for the window. I've bought wood to frame out the window, so it's just glass. It's about 50-60 quid for a nice thick piece of window glass, and the stove's going to set me back about 700, which is quite a bit. I was hoping it'd be a little bit cheaper, maybe 400. But I think they're all coming from like Sweden and Finland, and the delivery's obviously pretty expensive to the UK suppliers, so it's a bit pricier. However, there's the last couple of things to order. So tonight they'll get ordered. We've got the panelling, we've got the benches, the wood for the benches, insulation for the roof. Let's go. We have light. I've rigged up an outdoor light, just screwed into the wall, the stud. So carry on working at night. So let's get this foil sorted. Yes.
Before I did it. No, you didn't.
Yeah. God. Right, I've been putting this off for far too long, a few days. It's been raining, dark, etc. Just to get this final bit of insulation sorted. It's going to be pretty annoying, to be honest, which is why I've been putting it off. So let's throw this up on the ceiling. I hope it stays up there until I can foil it. Hopefully I can get this done quickly. Let's do it. Right, it's a fair bit of effort to get that up, but I don't really see any other way, so I'm just going to stick with it, get this done, and then try and quickly foil it to seal it all in properly. Right, we're nearly there. One strip to go. You can see the others Done. It's getting pretty warm in here, which I hope means the insulation is working. Right, we've done the ceiling. I think I just showed you a clip of that. The insulation at least. It's getting very warm in there already, just with me working, so I'm going to say that's the insulation working, which is good. So that is done. That was a ball ache. Fuck it, don't want to do that again. Next step now is to foil and seal all that in. So I'm going to start cutting some strips the length of the width of the sauna, and then we'll get those stapled in, stuck up, sealed off with the aluminium tape, and that'll be all sealed in, ready for panelling. But before I panel, see these two timbers here attached into the walls. I need a third one running around the top as well, same kind of perimeter, just around the top. As that'll be where the tops of the wall panelling will sit. And then once the roof is foiled, we'll do the same type of panelling or battening, but running, I think 2 just running horizontal will be fine to secure the roof panels in. So yeah, let's get started. Foiling and aluminium tape next. Whatever I said I didn't like before in one of the other episodes, probably tiling, I like insulating even less. Oh, it sucks! Foiling up there, gotta do the rest of it. Right, we are done. It's about 3 hours insulation and foil. Good to go. Tidy this mess up and then I'll give you a super quick tour and then we'll finish up for the night. Next day, I was hoping to get this done in the daylight, but way too much stuff. So it is now 7 PM. Dark outside. I've put an extra light outside where I'll be using the circular saw so I can see and not cut my hands off. And first task is to get the rear batten done high up and then that side as well. Pretty quick, but I kind of want to just get started on some panelling, so I'm going to start the panelling on that side, but I need to put these 2 battens up first before I can do that. And then yeah, we'll have some fun, I think. Let's go outside and measure this up and get it sawed. See something? There's a bunch of noise in the field behind me. The farmers For some reason cutting up the edges. Good timing. It's very hot in here now. The insulation is in, which I suppose is a good thing because it's going to be a fucking sauna. Right, the mustache is looking a bit strong today. It needs a trim. Yeah, so the battening is done. As you can see up there, enough for me at least to start the panelling. So I'm going to go open up the, probably won't be able to see it in the dark, open up the delivery of wood panelling that I've had. And then bring a pack in here. I think the packs of 5. We just lay it up against the wall, see how it looks, and then we'll measure the first panel before sawing it. Now the good thing is, if I find a pokey stick, so good thing is I'm only expecting the panelling basically to fall short of the ceiling by about 4 or 5 centimeters, because I'm going to be having battens on the ceiling and they're going to lower the ceiling as well. So the reason behind this and these battens is that the panelling is going to sit on the battens and there's going to be an air gap between the wood and the reflective vapour membrane. That should just help with the insulation of the sauna. So we've got the wood, which has come out of the first layer of insulation. Then we've got the air gap, which just, should basically just be like a warm air gap with minimal circulation of air in there. Reflective membrane. And then we've got the insulation itself, so 5 centimeters of either the fibre insulation or the about 4 centimeters of the board insulation. Other side of that, we've got the vapour membrane, and then it'll be the outer chipboard, the outer OSB board, followed by whatever panelling I put on the outside, which I'm going to do after the actual sauna interior is complete and we can actually use the sauna. I'm going to be attaching the panels with nails, as I think that will give a better result rather than screws. So I've got a huge bag of nails to use. It's been a long time coming. Finally the panels. I've just gone for plain pine, kind of like the cheap option. I'm not intending to be using this sauna more than a couple of years, because I'll probably be moving house again and taking it down and take some of the materials with me. So I've just gone for cheap and cheerful pine cladding. But I think it will look really nice. Inside it's kind of like slightly darker, which would be great. I'm actually very pleased with that. It means I don't have to, just the right length, I don't have to saw the ends off these panels. To be honest, I was going to do one, then nail one, then nail one. Might just be easier to put a load up, like 5 or 6, as almost like a sheet, and then just nail maybe every other one in, just so it kind of reduces the amount of nails that I need to use. Anything below here is also going to be covered by the benches, which is good, but I do want this kind of section here to be the best looking section. Right, I realised it wasn't filming. I've just been nailing in, probably can't see those, nailing in the first panel here, just on these 2 points, nice and solid actually, and then there will be one at the top as well, possibly, but I think it might actually hold itself okay. I realised before I get too excited and panel everything without installing the lights, I thought I'd show you them. I don't think I've shown you these yet. So these are just, they're kind of like decking lights, and so they'll slot into little holes I've drilled in the panelling. There's 10 lights. It's quite a nice atmosphere when they're all lit up. So they'll run around the lower portion of the lower bench inside it, so it kind of glows from within. Yeah, I think it'll look really good. So what I need to do is run each light behind panelling. I may even need to actually just drill into the panels now today as I do this, because each light is kind of run off the next one. So although that would look really nice actually, I just realised a fatal flaw in my plan. These need to be linked up as you install them, but to install them I need the panelling in place, and I need to be able to reach around the back. In order to actually make these work, I would have actually had to start panelling that end, drill in, i.e. the first light, panel some more, hook it up, drill in the second light, hook it up, panel some more. But because I've started panelling down this end, because I want it to be a little bit tidier, it means I can't put the lights in like that. So what I might have to do is fucking ignore putting in the lights into the panelling, and instead maybe build like an external like wooden conduit box type thing that should look nice and neat, that the lights actually then sit in and the wires kind of run inside that wooden box along the entire length of the wall. So keep panelling. Number 9. Number 10's got a bit of damage, so I'll save that for a smaller section. last panel's a bit dirty and damaged, as you can see there's a few marks on there, so I won't be using this one. That is 19 panels up. It didn't take too long actually to do the panels, it's just the figuring out what was going on took longer. So now I know. I'm going to finish there for tonight. It's 9 PM. It's a great start. Pleased with that, pretty solid. The top's alright as well. I'll just hammer in the occasional nail. Yeah, it's looking very sauna-ish. Nice and solid. I already feel like I'm in a sauna. It's got a good pine smell as well, which I think should be quite nice in the sauna. So I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Come back to the panelling tomorrow, see if we can get most of it done tomorrow, I reckon, because it should be quite quick. It'll just be the door section will be the trickiest. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Right, so what I've done to finish this corner, I've cut little slots in to the cladding so that it fits into the little gap, because the gap between the last panel and the CLS timbers is too small. So what I'm going to do is slot it in, and then the panelling running that way should cover the cut marks, and it should look pretty seamless. So let's try and fit this now and see what it looks like. So nearly completed that wall on the right, just leaving that corner because there's a few bits I want to do down there, possibly with electrics. Just panning around. Back wall is now fully done, and starting on the left wall. Bit of an update. I've decided to sack off the window for now. I just want to get the sauna done really, so I can start using it. So that'll make life easier, quicker. Just panel across there. However, I'll probably stop maybe about there, and then start work on the back benches after a bit more panelling. Right, pretty pleased with the panelling. It's looking very good. Considering I've just eyeballed everything, not written anything down, it's just all measurements made up as I go. I think it's turned out pretty good. So as you just saw in that clip, I've done enough panelling on both sides to get the benches started. So I think that is going to be my next job now. Let's measure up the back support beam, as that's going to be like the key support for the bench to effectively rest on the top. So yeah, let's do that now. Right, we're back cooking on gas, making good progress. Last night did the back support for the upper bench. Now I'm going to frame out the sides and the front of the upper bench. So I'm going for a 60 centimetre kind of depth of seat. Measured out what I need for these kind of side supports, cut one of them, and I'll just work off that. That side support's about 51 centimetres. Get that screwed in a second, double check the measurements on the other one, saw that, and then we'll do the front support and get in those central supports afterwards. I'm going to go for a supported kind of bench system rather than a floating one. I'd have to go out and buy some like thicker, stronger wood if I was going for a floating one, and can't be bothered. So I think the supported look kind of bench will look fine. So once I've framed this top bench, I'll then measure up kind of where I want the bottom bench to come out. Looking at kind of the depths of the benches, I'm actually probably going to struggle with getting an L-shaped bench in place. So it might just be the kind of traditional sauna look where it's the back wall has the benches on and there's not too much down the side, because it actually comes out quite far. I just want there to be enough room to kind of get in and walk about and get on the benches and things like that. And I might put in like a nice little kind of, don't know, shelf unit thing to store like towels and stuff you can sit on, which would be quite cool. So yeah, let's screw this in, measure out the other one, saw it, screw that in. Went and found a better tape measure that actually stays out if you hold it up, so it makes life a little bit easier. Considering I've pretty much eyeballed it, that is looking pretty good. Oh yeah. Next support I've done is a vertical support, taking the weight of this horizontal beam. One screw going down in the top there, securing the top. 2 screws into the horizontal beam behind the cladding. And then I've got a bag of these slightly longer nails that fit through with about half a centimetre sticking out. So I'm just going to put a couple of nails in just throughout there to kind of pin it into the wood as well, but it's not going anywhere anyway, but just for a bit of extra rigidity. We'll put the rear cross beam in for the lower bench in a second. So this is quite an interesting one. I was going to have the supports there and then an additional support dropping down below the horizontal beam. However, I think I may as well just rest on top there, attach it in that way. Same with the other side here. Obviously then there'll be a gap here, but I'll just fill that with a shorter piece of wood. And I think that will give much more stability on the lower bench, and it means I'll use less timber, because obviously this is quite a long drop there, which I'd have to then saw out again. Seems like a bit of hassle to do that. So just means the bench will be about 4 centimeters higher than expected. I might actually just make like a small wooden step even lower down to help people get up, but I think this will give me the best like strength for the lower bench. It's pretty good, to be fair. It's quite satisfying doing this stuff. Kind of goes together quite fast. Just had a delivery of the vent for up in that corner, the air vent. So it's got an external, I went for a kind of a domed mesh backed vent cover. So that will sit on the outside. And then metal tubing, which I'll need to saw to the right length, which will go through the wall, obviously like that. And then I'm assuming it's going to be cut about that much off. And then on the inside, on the sauna itself, I'm just going to build a wooden grill to go over the vent, and that will just allow some airflow up through the sauna. And then I'll have another vent down the bottom by the fire, by the stove, which I'll probably do a controllable vent of some sort, and that just allows air to come into the sauna. Obviously, the fire inside the stove needs oxygen, so it's got to draw air in from somewhere, and then that will pull in through the bottom of the bottom of the sauna into the stove itself, and then out the chimney, and then any excess air will kind of come up through the sauna, hopefully heat up nice and hot, and then slowly exhaust out the back through this vent. So yeah, we're looking real good right about now. That side's screwed in. Just chop this side, decent fit, wedge that in, and screw it down. For the central supports on the rear, I'll probably put either 2 or 3 full length timbers that attach to both upper and lower beams. It might be best to do 3 actually, just in case. Plenty, I think, because it'll be vertical. And then, I don't know if you can see there, we'll have horizontal supports running all the way across, and then on top of that I've got the nicer wood that's going to lay running that way, perpendicular to the cross supports. Same with the top as well. The front, we'll probably have to do the same. A couple of vertical supports there. I do want to be able to crawl inside here once the bench is actually put together, partly because I need to be able to install the lower lights down the bottom. Just sawed the post for here. Just need to measure up the one for this side, and then just make sure they sit equally even. I'm just going to go for 2 for now. If there's a bit too much slack, I'll put in a third one, but I don't want to use up too much timber as I haven't got too much left. I should have just enough to finish the benches. However, if I start adding more supports now, I'll use it all up. So I'll probably need to pop back to B&Q maybe on Sunday. But for now, let's just get as much done as we can with what we've got.